Welcome back to another episode of Allen Police Behind the Badge. We're your host, Officer Sam Ripamani and Alexis Birmingham.
And today our special guest is Officer Brandon Villareal. Thank you for joining us.
Not a problem.
Hey, Brandon. So, how long have you been with Allen now?
Just a little over a year and a half.
All right.
I was hired in October of 23.
And you're currently in patrol.
I am.
So, any interesting stories you can share from your patrol over the last year and a half?
Yeah, sure. It actually happened to be on training.
All right.
That's the most recent one I can think of. It's an interesting story because it never ceases to amaze me how honest people will be. It took me completely by surprise. I went through phase 2 of training with Officer Bly and Officer Lugardo Garcia, they're both amazing. Learned a lot from both of them. And I heard a lot about Officer Bly being one of those guys that just knows how to find things. If things just find him, you know. And it just never happened. And I kept giving him a hard time. Like, come on, man. When are we going to find something? He's like, I don't know. Maybe you just canceled these things out. And so he happened to be on vacation the last day that I was on training. So I went with Corporal Murray at the time, who's, now in a different division. And I never really got up on the highway very much. And he's like, hey, why don't we take a trip up and down the highway once? I was like, sure, why not? And so we got on just at Legacy, starting to head northbound. It got a little slow. Traffic was about 50 miles an hour. Some people kind of slowing things down. And someone comes barreling past us. Wasn't speeding per se, just unsafe for the conditions. But so I kind of sped up a little bit. And he's like, I don't know what that person's doing. I was like, I don't know. She went from the left lane all the way to the right, across all lanes without signal. I was like, all right, I'm going to stop her. So I pull her over, roll the window down, and I was like, whoa. Smelled very heavily of marijuana. And I was like, okay. Hey, where are you heading today? She's like, oh, just going to see some friends. Okay. Can I get another unit out here? So they sent another unit, and I have her step out of the car, and I told her the reason for the stop, and I was like, hey, yeah, I could smell marijuana in the car. When was the last time there was any marijuana in there? She goes, oh, probably earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Was it yours? She's like, yeah, I have, some conditions that I need it for. I said, okay. Am I going to find anything more than maybe just that little bit? Or she goes, just my deliveries. And I was like, oh, so like your Uber deliveries or something. She goes, no, my weed deliveries. I was like, okay, well, why don't you go ahead and turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're detained at the moment. And so I sat her in the car, and sure enough, she had a big bag that had a whole bunch of stuff in there that was labeled for each of the cities she was going to. Had some vape pens and some THC wax. And don't worry, I clarified she is not a resident of Allen.
Okay, that's good to know.
She was passing through. But it never ceases to amaze me how honest people are with you. And that kind of took me by surprise. And I kind of laughed at the moment, but then I looked back and I was like, man, that's a pretty hefty deal that she had going there. So
yeah, I always tell my kids if they get pulled over, be honest. But I don't think honesty's
she
getting
took
you out
honesty
of
to
that
an entirely new level. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was not. Honesty's not helping you on that one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So were you always an officer, or what did you do prior?
This is actually a third career for me.
Okay.
I'm actually originally from Allen. We moved here when I was really young, back in '94. Went through Allen High School, went on and played football at Purdue University. Got a sociology degree, which kind of falls in line with some of the stuff that we do in this profession. But ideally, I was thinking I'm majoring in football. I wanted to go be a football player.
Yeah.
Still kept good grades, but signed a free agent deal with New Orleans with the Saints right after college. Spent about 18 months with them, and then kind of did that. Hey, we don't really need you anymore, so we're gonna need the playbook. So turned in the playbook, came back home, had our first kid, and worked a corporate job, which I don't really consider my second career. It was kind of like a stepping stone to the next part. And I realized that there had to be some sort of interaction with people other than sitting in an office on a phone doing sales. That just wasn't for me. So I got into coaching and teaching. That was my second career. So I started at Lovejoy High School over there in Lucas. Was there for 6 years. Left there and went to McKinney North High School as a defense coordinator for 6 years. Had a chance to get out of teaching and coaching, not because I wanted to, but I had an opportunity to work from home, see my kids more, make some good money. And then again, I was like, my gosh, I can't do
Working
this
from home
anymore. I can't do it.
Easy.
I actually intended on running for school board, actually, for the city of Allen, Allen ISD. And that didn't work out, but the day of the election happened to be May 6th, 2023, which is a very sad day in the city of Allen. And I thought to myself, I can find a way to help serve this community better than just sitting on a school board. And so, Rip, you know my father-in-law.
I know him well.
I called him. He used to be an officer in this department for 36 years. And I said, do you think this is something I could do? I mean, I'm 40 years old. He goes, absolutely. He goes, you need to start that application process now. And so I did, and was contacted by Investigator Gilmore and everybody there. And here we are a year and a half later. It's just, I've always had this knack of wanting to serve and protect people, and the fact that it's my hometown, something I'm very well invested in and deep-rooted in, was a no-brainer.
So backtracking a little bit on your story. So when the football, I know it's fascinating to me because, as a kid, I'm like, I'm going to play in the NFL one day. Yeah, I had zero chance of playing in college, let alone the NFL. But I think that happens to more often than not, where they're like, okay, your services aren't needed anymore, like you were saying.
Right.
So it's something like, I guess it's a business. And you hear that a lot. Like, this is a business. It's cutthroat. I mean, we see that in Dallas right now with the Mavericks, what they're going through.
That's going to go down as one of the worst trades of all time.
Absolutely. But that's just my opinion.
Sure.
So I'm sure that was realizing, all right, football's over.
It hit me worse than I thought it would.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. You go through your entire life doing something you love, thinking this is going to be what I do for the rest of my life. And knowing that at some point in time, either I was going to choose or somebody else was going to choose for that to be my time to be done, and I had to have my next step. But nobody thinks that you're going to get that taken away from you before you're ready, So I thought, I'm going to have this long, illustrious career, be able to retire with millions, and be able to just live off of those millions. Well, that didn't happen. You get 18 months in, and they're like, hey, so about that playbook, like, what are you talking about? So when initially I sat down in front of Sean Payton, I said, is there anything I can do? I mean, you want me to go be a long snapper? Because I did that in college too. Didn't play just D-line. And he's like, it's a little early in the season for us to figure that part out. So we'll have to take a couple weeks and figure out if we need to make any more adjustments. I was like, well, look, I'm a cheaper option. Your long snapper's a 12-year vet. He's making $900,000. You could pay me $300,000.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And he's like, I appreciate it, but we're going to move on for now. So people ask me if I like to watch, shows like, what's it on HBO?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like PTSD for me.
Yeah.
Because I see those guys walking through the locker room and they're like, bring your playbook. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, you remember that day vividly,
I feel that
I'm
pain
sure.
for those guys. So yeah, it was a little bit unnerving to say the least. But I look back on it; it made me better for who I am now.
Yeah, you had your college, so
yeah,
you had your degree.
absolutely. And to Sean Payton's credit, after leaving there, he treated everybody who left the organization like royalty. So if we wanted to go back down there, we were always welcome to go be with the team, be at the locker room. When they came here to Dallas, I would always take my kids to go to the team hotel, hang out with the players while we talk with them, go to the games on Sundays and all that stuff. So,
awesome. So you still have friends that you played with
Mm-hmm.
in the league today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay in touch with some of them?
Mm-hmm.
So you went into coaching?
Yeah.
Was that your way to make it whole? Like, kind of, I'm done with football, but now I can still be part of football.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know that initially that you had to be a certified teacher in the state of Texas as a public school coach.
Yeah.
I just thought they always did teach because they just happened to be there.
So somewhere
right.
history, right? They teach history.
Yeah. So I got into it wanting to become a coach, and I was like, well, I've got to become a teacher. So I went through that process. And
the alternative certification.
Yes,
piece.
I went through an alternative certification program, and I learned to love teaching more than I ever thought I would.
Yeah. What subject?
I was a business teacher.
Oh, okay.
So thankfully, I didn't have to worry about standardized testing. I could just have the kids enjoy the class, do test grades by, doing group work or projects and things of that nature. And the parents loved it too because I didn't send any homework home.
Yeah,
they're like, they already have enough homework.
I'm
with
sure
other
the kids
classes.
really.
They love that too. But I learned to love that because in order to be a great coach, you have to be a great teacher to some degree. And it's not always about the curriculum. It's about life lessons. It's about relating with one another and making them better people. And I think that's what really drove me to want to go back every single day and love what I do, which I think helped prepare me for what I'm doing now, being able to just connect with people.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal. And in my opinion, if you can connect with teenagers well enough, I mean, you can really connect with just about anybody because they're tough to get along with sometimes.
I have 3 of those at home.
It's tough
day to day, depending on
yes,
especially with my middle when it's my daughter. Whew.
Yeah, but
I have to test the
it.
waters sometimes just to see.
Yeah, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I felt like it was my way to give back to kids the same things that were given to me as far as my knowledge of the game with the coaching side of it. But yeah, I loved it. It was something that I wish I would still do from time to time to go talk football. But the good Lord has me where I need to be right now. Mm-hmm. This is where I want to be.
So you don't coach on your free time anymore?
I do actually some individual sessions with D-line kids. Some 8th graders, 9th graders, some high school kids, mostly through Allen. I've got a couple kids from Prosper and McKinney that'll come out to Allen. We'll do a 1-hour session, just teach them some football stuff. My biggest thing is I just want them to ask questions. Ask me a football question. I don't care if it has anything to do with that specific position. Mm-hmm. I'll teach you that stuff. If you want to know why did the Chiefs call this play on 3rd and 4, if I've got a good answer, I'll tell you. If I don't, then I'll find it for you. But I want those kids to love the game and want to be more invested in it. Have a reason to want to go play. So yeah, I do a little bit of coaching on the side, but it's definitely not putting in 90 hours a week like I used to by any stretch.
Yeah. What do you do for the department now? You're a patrol officer. Mm-hmm. So what's a day of a patrol officer or a night?
Sure. So I'm working nights right now. Yeah, I'm 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Right. I'm one of those people that I'm very, very early. So if I'm not on shift till 6, I'm usually at the station by 4:45. People are like, what are you doing here? Like, this is just how I've always been.
Game planning.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. When I was coaching, I was there at least an hour before the kids were.
Yeah.
Funny story, actually. Now that I think about this, the reason why my parents always taught me to be very punctual. My grandfather was a naval. He was a ranked officer in the Navy. Oh wow. And was very big on punctuality and English. Those were the 2 things. Proper grammar. Freshman year of college, I was redshirting. Now, I'll keep this short. My father-in-law and his family came to watch the game that weekend. Well, on Sunday, we had to get a lift in before we went to do anything, and then we had to come back at 2:30 for team practice. Got my lift done at 5 o'clock in the morning, and Mike says, we want to go to Chicago. I'm like, that's 2 hours away. He's like, it's fine. I was like, we've got to be back here no later than 2 o'clock because I've got a team meeting at 2:30. Got it. We're standing in the middle of Chicago at 12:30. And I was like, we got to go. He's like, oh, crap, we got to go.
Oh, my goodness. Totally Mike.
So needless to say, we get all the way back, and I walk into the team meeting 10 seconds late. And my coach was like, get out of my meeting. And so I went through practice, and then the next 3 days I had to condition because I was late to a meeting.
10 seconds late.
10 seconds late. So I carried that for the rest of my career and then on into what I do. People are like, oh, I'll be 15, 30 minutes early. I'm at least an hour early. So to get back to what my patrol day is like, I'm usually at the station about an hour early. Get prepped, get my car ready to go, any extra gear that I need, check to make sure, press check my firearm, make sure everything's good to go there. If something needs to be oiled, go to the armory, oil my gun down if I need to. Go to briefing, and then hit the street. If there's any specific things we need to look at, when we get into briefing, if there's been a string of BMVs, burglars of motor vehicles, if there's been retail thefts, we'll add some extra patrol around those specific areas and just ensure that we're keeping a better eye on those things. But from there, it's just trying to do our best to make sure that we're making good traffic stops, keeping the streets safe from a traffic standpoint. And then the biggest thing for me is being good responders to the calls for service that we have. In my opinion, that's the first and foremost thing that we need to do. When the public needs our help, we need to be there.
Yeah.
So
Y'all get a lot of calls at night?
Yeah, there's more. It's crazy because it depends on the day. You would think that Friday and Saturday nights are always going to be the highest call volume nights. Sometimes they're dead.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a Wednesday night, just randomly, all of a sudden, all these things pop up, and it's call to call, and next thing you know, it's 2:00 in the morning. Like, what the heck just happened to my night? Like, I had no idea that this was going to happen, but there's quite a few calls, more than I anticipated to be happening between midnight and 3:00 in the morning on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a good amount of calls.
I used to joke that Allen was a very fair weather community. Like when it's cold outside in Allen at nighttime,
Oh yeah,
you see rabbits everywhere, but you don't see people very much.
No.
Like you can drive down city streets, seems like for miles, and not see a single car because it's cold outside. People are locked up.
yeah, and you'll see coyotes too.
Coyotes and rabbits. We
Yeah.
used to joke about that. So it's good to see it hadn't changed a lot.
No, not much. It's pretty much the same.
And this year at the awards banquet, I think somebody got some hardware
Oh
there.
boy,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Rookie of the year.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one, man.
I
Congrats
didn't think
on
you were
that.
going to bring that up, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're gonna embarrass you a little bit.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome though. That's like because we've been hiring a lot of officers in Allen, and so it's not like it's just one or two of you to choose from.
Sure.
So to win that award, and we got some exceptional officers. You know, our hiring standards in Allen are pretty high.
they're very high.
And the fact that you came in and won that, it's amazing.
I was shocked, to be honest with you, with the amount of guys that we have and girls. Either way, there's a lot of great officers in our department.
Absolutely. But
Very
don't sell
humbled
yourself
by it.
short.
Well, thank you, and very, very humbled by it. I kind of looked at it as, rookie of the year means you haven't had a whole lot of experience, so they're basing it off of everything you've done to that point. But I look at some of the guys that I've been through the academy with, been on shift with, and I'm like, how in the world did that guy not get it? Because I've always been one of those people to try to build others up and not put myself in front, if that makes sense. It actually took my wife till about year 8 or 9 when I was coaching for her to say, would you just step up and tell people you want to be a head coach now instead of trying to help other people become head coaches? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're always trying to help others. Why don't you do it for yourself now? I was like, it's not about me. It's about the whole team. And as cliche as it may sound, that's just how I've always
the team
been.
over me.
Correct.
That's
And
the
so
big thing.
I couldn't care less about a title, an award, but at the same time, I'm humbled by it. I'm thankful that the department and supervisors and those that I work with felt that I was,
people
worthy
notice.
of that. So
People notice. So it's awesome.
it's an awesome deal. I think I've been cursed by it since, though. Since then, all the fun calls, I'm usually dealing with
Those are yours now.
no, I've been dealing with like barking dogs when all the fun stuff's going on, or a 911 hang up,
That's a good problem.
or
to
a
have,
noise
though.
complaint, and I'm like, oh, that was, man, I wish I could have been a part of that one over there. So it's kind of an ongoing joke right now.
That's funny.
So if a pursuit kicks off, where's Villarreal? Oh, he's probably picking up ants on the side of the road or something like that.
So
Is there
If you're-
anything? Is there anything new in your unit, or how's Drive to Thrive affecting what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. I think the Drive to Thrive initiative has been good, especially for days. I think people are definitely taking that into consideration. We don't have quite the volume of cars on the road at nighttime, but I am seeing a lot better driving, to be honest with you.
Great.
And that includes criminals. I guess the criminals know that we're out quite a bit. They know that we like to patrol.
Yep.
Chief Dye is very, very high on traffic stops and making sure that we're visible.
Yep.
And I think that everybody sees that, and I think it's also helping people drive a lot better. So that initiative has been awesome. Doesn't change the fact that people still don't get their registrations updated. So get your registrations updated, people.
Yep.
As far as new, I don't really know there's anything new right now. I know we're supposed to be hopefully getting some new computers in the cars. I know those have been outdated.
they've been
for a
doing that
little
this
while.
week,
Yep.
so you'll probably have
So
a new one today when you go.
That'll
to
be
work.
awesome. So that's about the newest I can say. And I know that we have a couple of guys that just got out of either training or lateral officers. So we're still kind of gelling as a unit. I'm on the B2 shift. It's a great group of guys, very high active group, or proactivity wise. They're a very, very good group of guys. And even though I'm one of the newer to the profession, I'm also one of the older on the shift too, because I'll be 42 here in a couple months. And I look at them like, you guys are babies. You know, I feel like, man, shut up, Grandpa.
Hey, I feel that. I feel the same.
You
way.
know?
I'll be 44 this year.
Yeah.
I feel you.
So, as far as what's new, I don't know a whole lot except for, maybe the computers right now. But I just know that what we're seeing out there from people driving wise, it's getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that, some fun stuff will start taking place here in the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, we're good with quiet too, though.
No, 100%.
We're good with
we
quiet.
we like quiet too.
We did get some promotions though, Sergeant, and you guys got Lieutenant Frank Page.
Yeah, so Lieutenant Page is on the one side of the week. So we have our lieutenant is Lieutenant Manus on ours. But Sergeant Williams went to B1 as well, which he happened to be one of my FTOs during training.
Was he?
So that
He's
was
such a
really
nice guy.
Man, he's a great officer, and he's got a great story too. He'd be another person, be a great one
He's on the
for
list.
this podcast.
He doesn't know it yet, but he's on the list.
See, I'm already thinking like you guys are. He's a good one to get. But yeah, and then Sergeant Centeno over on A2. Yeah. There's been a lot of great promotions. I think they fit in very well. There hasn't been a single shift that I've seen that I've worked on either during training or that I'm currently on where I don't see some sort of gelling going on. Like there's no dissension between people.
And I can sense that around the station, being around all the officers and guys that feel like everybody's kind of bonding.
We really are. It really is a family.
The brother and
atmosphere.
sisterhood is really growing 100%. In our department, which is great to see.
We absolutely enjoy the group of people that we work with. And over the course of training and through now, I was able to go through every different shift. And I didn't feel at any given time like I wasn't a part of that shift the first day I was on it. And when I left, that I couldn't come back to that group. So it's a really great group of patrol officers that we have. And then really across the entire department, there isn't anybody that you can't walk through the hallways and doesn't say hello or make you feel like you've known them for a long time.
Yeah.
Which some of them I have.
So I got to pick on your father-in-law just a little bit.
I hope he's watching.
If he watches or listens to this, he's gonna have some words to say to me next time I see him.
Sure.
Love him to death. I've been here 18 years, and I've known him since the beginning. And he knew my in-laws from my father-in-law's retired state trooper, so they've known each other for years. So Mike's always been really good to me. We've played golf together. We've laughed. we've yelled at each other like the whole. He talks loud anyway.
Sure.
He's just a loud guy. But that guy is a salesman. He's the only man I know that could go get dispatched to a rollover accident and walk away there without any paperwork. And you laugh, both y'all. I'm not making this up. He could go to a call where somebody gets stabbed, and he's going to somehow figure out how to not do paperwork. He was the king of talking his way out of a report, and it actually took on a name. Have you heard the name?
Suchin it.
I don't know if it's alive and well anymore. I think we're in a different age now.
There's still a good amount of people who know that term.
That term.
Yeah.
We used to laugh about it. Like, I'm going to go such this. I mean, we were just joking.
Sure.
But we would always say, and he'd be like, oh, whatever. And he'd get mad and yell at us.
Yeah. Yeah. I was fully aware of that. I don't know that mentality lives so much, but it's in the lore of Allen PD for sure.
I think that's the old days for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely
We've
is.
teased him about that for years. And
I'm going to have to make sure to say something to him again.
Oh, yeah.
Soon.
He'll watch this, and he'll probably text me.
Well, I'm sure that Mayor Brooks will, too, because I know that Mayor Brooks knows about it, too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
He'll tell me I owe him a round of golf.
Yep.
Like that's what he tells me every time I see him. So.
And you might be able to beat him.
I don't
Just
know.
FYI.
You think?
He plays enough, but every time I see him, he's like, "Oh no, I shot like 88, 89." I'm like, "How are you not shooting in the low 70s by now?" He's like, "I don't know. I got to figure something else out."
Because he's all gas. He's just always
all gas,
wound
no brakes.
up, man. Just going. But
yeah,
I've played with him years ago, last time we played, and he was actually
He's a good golfer.
He can hold his own.
He is. He's a good golfer.
And he's talking the whole time.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this guy.
And you better hurry.
Oh, like he's not joking. Like,
No.
He doesn't want to wait on anybody. Like, he's ready to go.
It doesn't matter if you're the last ones on the course. If there's nobody in front of you, nobody behind you for 3 holes. If you're not moving at Mike's such pace, you're not moving fast enough.
That's awesome. So, goals with Allen Police Department. You want to promote? What do you think?
That's on the shelf for now. I mean, I want to make sure to get a good enough amount of time on patrol to really figure out what it is I want to do. I thought initially coming into being an officer that a couple years in, maybe being an SRO might be a natural fit for me, having been in schools for 12 years. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I've toyed with the idea of maybe wanting to get into K-9. I love the idea of being a K-9 officer.
Yeah.
And then maybe to potentially promote or even go into CID maybe later in the career and work crimes against persons. I've always loved the idea of investigating things and solving cases and things of that nature. But in all honesty, I don't know what the full-on long-term goal is because I'm still getting my feet wet into patrol, and I love every second of it. And I don't just say that because I'm on this podcast or around people in the department. I truly do enjoy what I'm doing every single day. It's a reason to get out of bed and go make a difference. Because although we get to take people to jail that do crimes, and that's a great part of our job, a lot of it is just connecting with the community. There's, over the last however many years, I think there's been kind of a 50-50 view of what law enforcement is. And sometimes if you just show a little bit of grace and humility towards people, they tend to change. Like the second you stop them, they're like, oh, why am I being pulled over? And then, hey man, just thought I'd let you know your taillight's out. Oh, okay. When are you going to get that taken care of? And just have a conversation with people. And then next time you see them, they don't have quite that same, demeanor about them. So I enjoy that community engagement, involvement, and really connecting people. So I don't know. We'll see. Eventually I would love to promote, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Yeah. If you go back in the schools, man, they're going to have you helping coach football in uniform.
doubt.
Then you'll be really out there.
No doubt. No doubt.
Do you have any collateral duties or any passion for anything right now in the department?
I'm actually working to get into the drone unit.
Okay.
I've worked with drones before. I just don't have my FAA license, so
Mm-hmm.
working on the process of doing that. That's something that I have a pretty big interest in, and once I can get myself figured out with that side of things and helping out with that, I'll see if there's some other things that kind of catch my interest. But for right now, that's something I love. The idea of, maybe I'm not involved in the pursuit because I wasn't close enough, but I'm the only drone guy available, and they need someone in case there's a footbed. Well, then I can go get involved with it. So I love that opportunity to potentially be a part of that. So that's one of those things that I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks here we can get certified and get started.
There's a lot of use for the drones. I mean, not just, pursuits.
Sure.
I mean, any child loss.
Helping locate suspects, helping locate missing people, runaways,
Yeah.
things of that nature. I think it's a huge deal. And to have that big eye over the sky, helping see things that other people can't, I would love to be a part of that. And that's why I'm going through the process of it.
You can come out to our events and show off the drones. The kids love the drones.
Hey,
No doubt.
I mean, they love seeing all the technology that
Sure.
we have, and it's pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
Even robotics. That's pretty neat, too.
Yeah.
The little robot
Yeah.
that we have.
So the drones are fascinating to me. The way you can fly them indoors now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so much safer if we have someone barricaded in a house. We don't have to send a person in anymore, or even a canine for
canine,
that.
yeah.
Right.
That takes the risk of getting hurt. We can fly those drones in, and if a drone gets knocked out of there, they're all insured. Nobody's hurt. We'll
Right.
send another one in.
Yep.
Whatever we need to do. And one call that comes to mind with the drone, we had it was a robbery suspect, and he fled into a neighborhood. A robbery didn't happen in our city, but he carried over into Allen, and he wrecked his car out and fled on foot. And we had a patrol officer that got a drone up out of their car, got it up in the air right away, and they watched him. He was going through backyards trying to run, and they just the drone didn't
They're
go
so
anywhere.
fast.
You're not going to
Faster than
outrun it.
A dog.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
So that drone
So
just
easy.
hovered and all right, he's right here, crouched down in under these trees and these bushes, and they surrounded it, and he finally peeked up over the fence, and I think it was Lieutenant Page standing there. And that's who we went
pal.
eye with. He's like, "Oh man, I messed up."
That's not the guy you want to be eye to eye
And he
with.
snatched him up real quick, and
Yeah.
that one was done at that point.
Yeah.
But man, it's such a valuable tool.
Yeah.
And what you guys, I mean, like Chief Dye says, y'all are the hub of the department.
Yep.
We're all just a spoke on that wheel. Like patrol is what makes this department go around, and we appreciate what y'all do.
Well, thank you. We appreciate everything you guys do as well.
You're out
We're
there
all a
at
big
nighttime
family.
when we're home asleep. It's like it's, people lose sight of that and forget
Sure.
about that. And, a lot of sacrifices made. One more thing I want to talk to you about. You have kids, right?
I do.
2 boys.
I do have 2 boys.
All right. Is one of them playing football?
So my oldest is a junior right now on the Allen varsity football team. And then my youngest is a 7th grader in the middle school program, and he's already bigger than I am, taller than I am, for that matter. So they're pretty athletic kids. My oldest plays football, does a little bit of wrestling. My youngest is basketball, baseball, football.
All right.
So,
So what's that like as dad now, watching your boy on Friday night out there? It's Allen Eagles. That's a big team. That's a big stadium, like spotlight.
Yeah, the soft side of me says it warms my heart, to seeing my son play, at my alma mater and doing, in my opinion, better things than I did when I was in high school, and on a team that's way more successful and has way more notoriety than I ever had. Mm-hmm. And then the other side of it, I have to keep myself from wanting to just unload on him for things that he's not doing or doing.
Oh, things he could do better.
Correct. Then my coaching side comes out, but I have to tell myself, no, be dad.
What position does he play?
He's an offensive lineman, so he plays center. That's probably what he's going to project at in college, or potentially guard. Just kind of depends on where they need him.
So you would have been lining up across from him.
Yes.
Defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever line up in front of him?
I still tell him to this day, I don't care how in shape you are, and maybe how in shape I get to the point where I'm not. Maybe it's 100% between the ears. I can still whoop him every time, and I tell him, I said, I got that old man strength.
Old man strength and wisdom.
Yes. And I said, there will never be a time that your old man can't beat you.
Well, I think we should definitely make this happen one day. Get y'all in pads and let's do it.
I'll be good for one play, and then I'll be tapping out.
We'll get that play on video.
Yes, that's to be the one. But yeah, so it's pretty cool to watch him play. And then my youngest will be coming up in a couple years.
What position does he play?
He's a quarterback, and I never thought I'd be a quarterback dad.
You tackle those guys.
Exactly. So it's a little weird for me. When he gets hit, I'm like, yeah. Oh wait, I can't. I can't do that. Yeah. But no, he's enjoying that. He really wants to be a basketball player. I kid you not, when I watch him, he reminds me of Luka. The way he moves around.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that. And this is the way I talk about Luka. He seems like that old man at the local gym that just knows how to play, and he just sinks every shot.
He's
and
not
it's like,
super fast.
Right, like, how does he do that? That's exactly what he looks like. But he's incredibly intelligent for the game of basketball. His basketball, he sees everything. He sees passes, and I'm like, what do you? Oh, that was pretty cool, So he's a very good basketball player, and he's a pitcher in baseball. So he's
totally different than you.
He's doing quite a few things. So. We're still trying to figure out what the route is, but I have no intentions of stopping him on any of the 3. If he wants to play all 3 of them through high school, I'm all for that. He needs to be a well-rounded athlete. With my oldest being junior going into senior year, he's kind of focused on football now. So we'll see. He's got a couple scholarship offers from some smaller schools. He does want to play, and spring ball's right in the mix right now, so I'm sure some more will be coming down the pipeline, and we'll see.
Absolutely.
That's exciting. If there's one thing you can share with our community, what would it be?
When you get pulled over, find a safe place. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times we'll pull someone over and you stop dead in the middle of the road. That's a safety issue for everybody. Right. And I laugh when I say it at first because sometimes you look back and go, what were they thinking? But at the same time, if we pull you over, just find a safe spot. If you're worried that we're going to think you're evading or you're taking off, we don't think that. If you want to find a spot that's more well lit, we greatly appreciate that. And don't stop in the middle of a major roadway. Find a side street, get off to the right side, find a parking lot. Don't stop immediately in the middle of the road. That's a safety issue. So that would be the one thing I would tell everybody.
Yeah, we've had many close calls.
Yes.
And I think some of our units have been hit
Mhm.
because
Over the
of
years, for sure.
It's a big time safety deal, and if that means you have to drive a half mile to somewhere you feel safe, as long as you're not speeding up and trying to move evasively, as long as you can find a safe place, please do. I would greatly appreciate it, and other officers would greatly appreciate that.
So I heard that we're getting cowboy hats.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Highly excited
Yeah.
about that.
Are you going to get fitted for one? Or
Yes,
have you
I
already
am.
been fitted?
I have already been fitted. The first day they said we could go in there, I was like, I will be in there as quickly as I possibly can. Now, I know we're supposed to use them in inclement weather if you're going to be outside and, the sun for extended periods of time and working on nights. I may not get that many opportunities, but you better well believe I will have that thing with me at all times.
You're not always going to be on nights.
No, I won't, but I will tell you this. I will have that thing with me. I will gladly wear that every chance I get.
Are the other patrol guys and gals excited?
From what I could tell, most people are pretty excited about it.
I've been seeing some pictures
Yep.
floating around of everyone trying their cowboy
Trying their
hat
hats
on.
on.
So
And I got a big old dome. I had to get one of the bigger sizes too. It wasn't quite a size 8, but it's one of the bigger ones.
I
so.
tried them on, and I'm not what I thought I was either. I had to go a couple sizes bigger than what I thought my head size was.
Yeah.
I guess it's grown
No
a little
doubt.
over the
Since
years.
that boomer post, I think it's
Oh.
grown even
Well,
bigger.
that's all the wisdom.
All
That's
the
all the
dog
wisdom.
posts.
That's all the
with
wisdom.
What Brandon says, the wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, we really appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
thank
know
you.
Appreciate
you
y'all
coming in
having
on your free time to chat with us. So we
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Will do.
You're knocking it out of the park out there.
Well, thank
and
you.
everyone notices. So
I appreciate that.
appreciate
Appreciate
you.
y'all having me.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and we would love to see you promote. You would be a great
Thank you.
fit.
I appreciate that.
Thank everyone for listening or watching today. If you'd like to know more about upcoming events, go to our website, allenpolice.org.
And make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below.
All right. See you next time.